It's safe to say the spring of 2025 was yet another successful go at it here on my channel. Despite a full-time internship at Tulsa International Airport, we continued to share consistent content here on my channel like diecast model aircraft, trip reports, plane spotting, and so much more. In today's video, we'll summarize spring of 2025 and preview the summer of 2025. It's safe to say that many changes are still coming about, but we're going to have a bunch of exciting content through the process. I hope all of you are excited for this, and let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Welcome everybody to the channel update for summer 2025. I hope all of you are excited for today's video, as today we're going to dive into the full analysis here of what else is going on here on my channel. And as you all know, it's certainly been quite the start to 2025, but we're just getting started, as we like to say around here. So again, I hope all of you are excited. As usual, we'll take a look at the entire spring here, we'll look at the analytics, and then we'll go through the preview. So I hope all of you are excited. Let's just not waste any further time, everybody, and go ahead and get started. So we had a really big start here for 2025. I rebranded my channel to CM Aviation, which I thought was a huge success, and we also had an epic fall of 2024, so obviously the anticipation was high coming into 2025. Now obviously I knew that I was going to have a full-time internship and quite a transition, as my career will become an emphasis as we continue to move forward, but I honestly thought that I still navigated it pretty well considering how much is going on, and all these videos will show just that. So let's just go ahead and take a look at them. So first and foremost, we have those 2025 preview videos, as I mentioned, and then we also had our other transitional videos for the new year, including the halfway analysis for AI 2024. We had the must-attended aviation events for 2025, and also the airline collectible shows and the 2025 air shows as well. So I am planning to make the next collectible video, obviously, as there's going to be a bunch of shows this fall that have been announced. So very excited for that. And throughout this process, we were also finishing the Oshkosh videos, which was quite fun. Excuse me. We also had plenty of fun model videos through the process, like model unboxings, airport updates, and release reactions. And then of course I had the absolutely incredible around the world extravaganza. That was such a fun trip, and I appreciate all your support very much on that, and I'm excited to bring media to that here in the near future once I continue to navigate my schedule and so forth. But obviously, as you can see there, that was quite the experience. And then obviously we have our traditional videos like airport updates, reviews. We had Slimmerville there, and we also had some we had our seminar videos during AI 2024, had our new setup video, and then obviously that takes us into more traditional videos. We start to get our taste of real life videos with some aviation news and then the Allegiant Air trip report. So I appreciate everybody's support on those videos. Glad that all of you liked them so much. The Destin Airport tour was a very fun one as well. That was just an overall fantastic family trip, probably one of the best to date. And also we had some one-off videos pop up, like the final years with this GeminiJets setup video. The main point of this is just to, continue to maximize our usage with the setup, and that's exactly what that video does. So that's what's getting discussed there in that particular video. We also had some cool museums throughout as well. Here is the National Naval Aviation Museum and plane spotting at Pensacola. As previously mentioned, our typical model videos, some really good unboxing throughout, and then some cool AI 2024 videos and some cool releases from Gemini in the process as well. We also had some cool one-off videos like the airfare rising in 2025, and certainly want to acknowledge AA 5342 and PAT 25. Certainly a very unfortunate situation there. We also checked out the Armament Museum in Destin too, and then we concluded Oshkosh before getting into our next trip here in a moment. We had obviously plenty of fun updates, new forest making its rounds, and I apologize for the Gemini highlights video. I just got so tied up and wasn't able to maintain that, so I hope to do that as we continue to move forward in the future. And that goes for the real life content too. You'll start to see that get tied up here. January and February honestly went really smoothly, and it was really great, and then by the time March showed up, it just all got real busy, and then April was just a zoo, and then obviously May continued just that. So fortunately though, we did have some really cool videos throughout the process, like the Tinker Air Force Base show from several years ago. We also had our GSC video from Jet Set Models, so that was great. And as you can see here, this fully transitions us here into our next round of videos for the real life content, which you're going to see shortly, but plenty of aviation news as well, and hoping to get back to some consistency there, along with our fleet by type videos. I need to see where we are on those, and I'll give you a status update on the collection and so forth. And yeah, we have been just absolutely snail walking through the California Zephyr trip, and I will take full responsibility for the slow pace of that trip. Just got so tied up, and it's been tough to produce real life content. I also had some computer issues, so there's been so many reasons for that. So again, I just apologize in advance. Sorry, I'm trying to balancing not talking too fast, but also being efficient, so apologize about that. But some fun model unboxing throughout the process. You can see here there was even several videos here that didn't even have a thumbnail. I got so tied up, but obviously I kept my pace, so I'm happy about that. We also had some really cool one-off videos finally start in April, and I was glad to start getting those released, like the model aircraft database assessment for the collection. And then you're also going to see here the Southwest situation. That's been crazy, so we continue to talk about that on a regular basis. COVID-19 5-year anniversary, absolutely insane. And then finally here, California Zephyr did pretty well, so happy to see that. And then CLT Aviation 13 made his resurgence, which is awesome. And then we started doing our reaction videos, which will continue to be prominent. You have the 1-200 airports right there. We had a really cool model aircraft manufacturer tier list. Destin continuing to go strong, and then we had 4 videos in one day, which was super cool, so that was certainly fun. You can also see here throughout, those were the 4 videos from that one day. You can also see we did April Fools with JJ, so that was fun as well. AI 2025 prep's been awesome. We had the San Francisco plane spotting too, which again, I sincerely apologize for the real life content. I'll explain it here in a moment. It'll make a little bit more sense. But once again, a great variety of videos. Also some really great custom diorama panels throughout. That's certainly been fun to cover, and I think all of you have enjoyed that very much. So been great to cover that. The JetBlue trip report was certainly fun too. And then, like I said, some other cool videos are new molds from JC Wings. Definitely fun to do that. And then continuing to see all these really cool reaction videos as well. They've been fun to make. More great release reactions through the process. Getting an analysis on Flighty there, that was fun too. And then we had our new GeminiJets concourse here, which that performed very well, so happy to see that. And then a GeminiJets analysis there on my collection, which was pretty fun as well. Day 3 vlog finally came out, happy about that. And then a really great performer here recently, the best time to be collecting, very happy about that. Some great one-offs throughout here, like DFW Concourse. We had Tarmac Designs getting an unboxing there, and that takes us to where we currently are. So we currently sit, as you can see here, for our analytics with about 11,700 subscribers, so we're almost to 12,000. So thank you all so much for the support. Here are the numbers here for the period, and as you can see, our views actually were up. Our watch time was neutral, where our subscribers were down. Quite a few reasons to this. First and foremost, the YouTube algorithm really went in a lull beginning in January. You can see the slow decline here, and then from here all the way up until about the beginning of April, this is probably the lowest it's been since dating back to sometime in 2023. You know, I can only do so much with the algorithm. I've tried to re-optimize, and I am going to go do some SEO work and so forth to continue to gain exposure for you all. So there was several reasons for that, but you know, I can only do so much. So there was also an emphasis on model aircraft content starting somewhere in here, and that eventually paid off to get back to here. So fortunately, the last couple months have been much better. So we are making progress. It is going to take some time, but it's just the algorithm. And then getting into a deeper look here on the highest performing videos, you can see Massive Unboxing X continuing to perform well, along with the Elton 11 TriStar. That's certainly been awesome. And then the Rise of GeminiJets video, that was a really big one. So really happy with the performance of that. And then the collection video continues to perform, along with several recent videos like I was mentioning there. So that's great. Along with the Great Plains update from November really performing well. And also the First Class on American 17. When we take a look here at our new viewers and subscribers and so forth, as you can tell, it definitely was a high performer. We were about dead even between videos and shorts. So that was certainly an interesting distribution. And as you can see here, 158 videos so far in 2025. So I think I've uploaded almost every day. I think I just had one edit scheduling goof, and I think I missed one day, but I obviously have uploaded multiple times a couple days, so I think that's made up for it. But as you can see here, here's the typical performance and some of the other statistics and so forth. So I think we're doing pretty good. Obviously quite a bit in the shorts feed regarding where people are finding the videos. And I think I can move this just over to videos, which is a very fascinating tab to always look through. Our click-through rate's pretty high. Obviously our views are down only 6%, so that's not too bad considering the algorithm lull. You can see here some of the higher and the lower performing videos throughout. And then top videos so far are some of the ones that I mentioned. But the browse features definitely click on YouTube search and suggested, also contributing heavily. Love looking at the audience tab. Like I mentioned earlier, the subscribers are slightly down. There's been a couple of days where shorts I've accidentally not been able to upload one, just unintentionally, so that can contribute to some of it as well. But you can certainly see here the peak times and so forth. So I think everybody's been real busy this year as well, like always, so that's certainly probably a factor too. And how about this? This is certainly a new one to me. I was not expecting to see this. 50% of the device type watch time is televisions. That's crazy. So that was definitely not what I was expecting to see. So thank you all so much for watching me on your TV. I didn't realize that that was so high there, and that could just be a bunch of autoplay and so forth, but that's still really cool. And then 25% on phones, 16% on computers, and 10% on tablets. So that certainly was not what I was expecting. And yeah, that was certainly really cool to see. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so if you want. We only have 18% of you from the watch time that are subscribed. And yeah, we're really getting this distribution on the geographies. As you can see here, we got 60% from the United States and a good balance throughout. And then we also have some additional gender distribution here on our viewers. I think this is way higher than what it's been in the past. 17% female, so appreciate all of you watching, male, female, wherever you're from. And also the age range here, as you can see, pretty evenly distributed. It seems like we have some older viewers now as well, so hope you all are enjoying that very much, and I appreciate your all's support very much. And we also have some really cool subtitle distribution there, so that's pretty fun. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and take it on into Flighty. I wanted to show you all my flights, and then we'll get into the full distribution. So Flighty is the software that I've been using lately for my analysis here on my flights. It's a really good software, and it features all of the various data here regarding what's going on. So you can see my flights here for 2025 and what's been going on. So I have 39 flights for this actual date calendar year, 33,000 miles. Obviously, that was a big part of that was the around the world extravaganza. As you can see here, all those flights. So very cool to see that. But obviously here for the local flights, we've done quite a bit. So we'll briefly talk about those real quick. First day trip wasn't until February, where I did some United and American flights. So that was pretty fun to add some additional frequency there to my schedule. And then I did 5 flights one day on United. That was pretty fun, featuring the 777 from Denver to Chicago. So very fun time there. And then I went out to Charlotte for a pre-enrollment appointment for our upcoming internship there this summer. So we'll talk about that more in a moment. Following that, I also was able to do the Nashville inaugural out of Tulsa. So glad that work ended up making that not a problem in regards to being able to participate in that. So very much enjoyed it. And then I also was able to participate in the Dallas one-day show and the Chicago one-day show for this spring. So very happy about that, along with yet another Dallas day trip. So went pretty well. Most flown aircraft, the 737. And I actually lost 6 hours off of delays, which is pretty fascinating to think about. I did have just a couple like 20 and 30 minute ones that added up really quick. But I guess this is for the entire year, so can't forget about that. But as you can tell, this is a little bit skewed. But this summer, fortunately, I have some big plans, so very excited about all of those. So yeah, 39 flights. Here's the passport, pretty cool, and certainly continuing to build the landscape. So that's pretty awesome. All that being said, let's go ahead and get started here with the channel update, everybody. First and foremost, if you haven't checked out my video with the internship at Tulsa International Airport, feel free to do so. It was an incredible opportunity to enhance my knowledge and just overall landscape of airport operations, and so fortunate that I got to do that here at my local airport. So definitely check that out. Very fun video and quite an awesome time to be able to navigate all those videos we just saw as well on top of the internship, and I even had a class this semester as well. So it was certainly a very busy spring. So I appreciate all you bearing with me through this process as I continue to gain experience here for my career. And we still had an amazing variety of uploads. As you can see, we really emphasized those model aircraft videos. I know so many of you like them so much and they perform really well. So that will continue to be emphasized. And then the around the world trip along with the day trips went strong, as mentioned previously. I did completely flop on the second half of the semester regarding the real life content. I'll take full responsibility for that. And I'm going to do my absolute best to get that back in a reasonable position here as we move forward. Again, it's just so tough for quite a variety of reasons, but when we get to that section, we'll discuss it. So apologies there. 46 flights dating back to the beginning that around the world. So definitely awesome to see the progression there. And overall, it's certainly been very busy and very exciting, but overall, it was a huge success here in the spring of 2025. I really enjoyed it, and it was certainly a great time for sure. That being said, let's go ahead and get started with the epic summer ahead. So an upcoming video will be about my internship that will be happening at Charlotte Dulles International Airport. Very fortunate for this opportunity. I'll be participating in their terminal operations department. So that'll be anywhere from the curb of the airport to the actual inside. Really excited to see the entire scope of what that looks like, and that will definitely be helpful insight this summer. So with that being said, obviously I will be moving out there here very shortly. So getting all the videos prepared. You can see great planes right there, about to record several updates for that airport and recording videos like this one so that we're ready to go. But fortunately, I've spent many days and an extended period of time over the last several months preparing for this. So it will be a pretty smooth transition, fortunately. But we are going to have many day and weekend trips ahead along with some epic content. So let's just go ahead and talk about all of what to expect. Regarding the model aircraft, you're going to be continuing to see airport updates, the massive and normal unboxings, the reviews, the fleet by types. Hopefully we'll get back in the continuous swing, and the release reactions from Gemini and NG, and then I hope to make the other ones there, those, bi-monthly live streams or so. Another one of those live streams will be coming here in the next couple of weeks, so expect that here in the near future. But I think that format works well, along with all the rest of it continuing as normal. There'll also be a new model airport that'll be debuting here in just a few days, so stay on the lookout, and excited to get that rolling. I've hinted at it several times. I think probably most of you know what it is. So excited to get that going, and then hoping to make more of those assessment news videos, the how-tos, the 20 new molds for JC Wings, and also like the best times to be collecting and so forth. I've worked with Chat GBT a little bit on video scripts to help out the time aspect on my side, and it's done a fantastic job with some scripts. I asked it to write NG models lack of release US releases video script for a video, and it really did a phenomenal job. So I'm probably going to be using some of that as the template and just building off of that. But yeah, that should make it way easier, in other words, now that I have a resource to use to write up some scripts. But anyway, those videos are very popular, and I definitely want to make more of them on like 3D design deck, what's ahead for NG models. Gemini probably even deserves another video, so yeah, definitely expect those. And then, yeah, I'm really eager to continue to expand the model landscape. Between the new airport and those analysis videos, plus all of our normal content, there'll be no shortage of fun regarding the diecast model aircraft. So very excited about that. For our real life content, we completed Oshkosh, Destin, and essentially Airliners International 2024. There might be one or two more videos, but we're pretty much there. So what you can expect is we have just, once again, it's been a snail to get through the California Zephyr. I apologize about that. I'm going to hopefully get that finished up here. And then after the California Zephyr, it's going to be a large quantity of videos, but hopefully we'll be able to turn it into a landslide. So pretty much it's going to be just a few videos regarding trip reports of Breeze A220. And then I think I'm just going to make like 2 or 3 big videos of the rest of the flights from that year. And then we're going to have several plane spotting videos at Phoenix, Austin, Denver, Atlanta, Washington, Dulles, all these places that I have pictures from. So we'll make that as effective as I can. And I might even start some of the Hawaii trip and West Coast from the beginning of 2024 while I'm still posting some of those plane spotting videos. So I'm going to try to balance it out. I'd like to go back and forth between trip report and plane spotting video, or, obviously try to get it balanced in some sort of way, or one trip report per 2 plane spotting videos. Long story short, the models are the highest priority. I know you all like that the best, but I'm doing my absolute best to get the real life content back in the swing of it. We still also have several videos from Spot LEX as well. And I will say just up front, I had some complications with my computer and I lost quite a bit of pre-recorded footage. So I am very, it's a frustrating situation, very just disappointed with the hard drive and what happened there. So there's only so much I can do on that. So as a result, we're going to be even more behind from that. So fortunately, it wasn't nearly as much as what I had previously pre-recorded. So it could be much worse. This was probably honestly a good time for it to happen. So we will be starting fresh with that. And fortunately, we'll be getting back to the swing of it in that regard. You can also expect some additional videos. The aviation news will continue to go strong. You need to get some of those pre-recorded once again. Sit down and do that hopefully over the next coming days. But I had like a commitment every night during the last 2 months. So it just was really tough. I only had like 1 day a week to sit down and navigate it. From AAAE at Oklahoma State to upcoming various family events, it was so chaotic. So thank you all for your patience very much on that. But I'm also hoping to get some quarterly TUL news videos going as well, along with some other concepts like monthly spotting. The reactions, as I mentioned, will definitely be doing those, both model form and real life. I have some really cool ones there. We'll also have some quizzes, some recaps, and so on and so forth. So it'll be a great, go at it here with the real life content. I just need to get an opportunity to sit down and get that back into the swing. So stay tuned for that. I hope to get some flight simulator streams returning at some point in the future. This is a long-term goal, so there's no time frame on this. So hopefully at some point these will return. But I think settling in first and, prioritizing the other content is of the higher priority. But I do have interest in returning this at some point. So I just did want to mention that. Airline collectible hauls are admittingly going to be tough. Hopefully at some point I can navigate them, but I'm way behind in conjunction with the extensive time that it takes to set that up and record it. So those are on an indefinite pause for the moment. I hope to bring those back at some point in the future. They are fun, just need to find the right environment. And who knows, maybe that's a live stream material that I can do. We'll see. For aviation memorabilia, definitely interested in making videos in the books, the manuals, the playing cards, and so forth. They're not the highest performing, but they are fun. I know there's a bunch of skin tags and other cool aviation items that we can certainly utilize too. So definitely eager to see what we can do there. And during my time in Charlotte, that might enable me to have more time to sit down and look at what I get, especially from Airliners International 2025 in Atlanta. Definitely will try to bring some of that back to Charlotte and do some videos on any cool memorabilia I come across. And obviously continuing to make these one-off videos, how they get cheap flights, plan trips, etc. That's ever evolving, so definitely want to do that. Boarding pass, safety card collection, chat live streams, release reaction live streams, etc. Definitely looking to enhance that, so definitely expect a bunch of that. And overall, that is the full scope here for the summer, so definitely get ready for the internship video for Charlotte. I'll go into more of what that's going to look like, but again, I've been fortunate enough to pre-record an extensive amount of content here for you all, so we should be in good shape from the model perspective, and I can still do all my desk videos like this in Charlotte, so it should all work out pretty well. And then we'll also have some great media from Charlotte too, so stay on the lookout and definitely stay tuned on my Instagram page, where you're going to see the first updates here regarding what's going on. And then I also have my model aircraft account, which is CM Aviation Models, so definitely check it out. Admittingly, I've been lacking here as well, but I'm spending the next several days here before I move out to Charlotte just sitting down and getting it all prepared, so we'll be in better shape. So hopefully the evenings will be a little bit more laid back. We'll see what happens, but hopefully I'm able to continue to navigate the scope and get as much content out as I can for you all. I have absolutely no idea what the fall looks like yet. I'll continue to keep you all updated. I am going to be looking at jobs and, just applying just to see what happens, but obviously I will be looking to get a full-time job definitely by next January when I graduate in December with my aviation management bachelor's degree. That being said, obviously if I get a job opportunity sooner than later, I'm obviously going to be taking that. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting transition as we move forward. If I get a job in August, I do, and I got to get ready for it by whenever it's going to start. And if I'm able to make it all the way to January, then that'll obviously enable me to continue to make a bunch of good content here. But this setup is going to be pretty interesting, how we're going to be able to utilize it as we move forward. I will do my absolute best to maximize its usage and so forth, but admittingly it's going to be tough considering that I'm not going to be here very much at all this summer. I think just 3 days, so it's going to be extremely limited, but obviously all that pre-recording has paid off. And then I will have some models with me in Charlotte, so that'll help out to continue to navigate that landscape too. But anyway, I really hope all of you enjoyed this channel update. I'm super excited for the summer 2025. Again, we have a bunch of exciting content ahead, so definitely share it with your friends. And if you have any suggestions or any content you'd like to see me make, feel free to let me know. I am considering putting in a Google form, so I might just put that in the comments. So love to hear what you all want to see. Obviously want to continue to think of new ideas and enhance the landscape. Minimal effort type videos. I don't want to say that in a bad way, but the desk videos or any videos that I can make within a short period of time, definitely feel free to recommend those. That makes it easy for whatever you all want to see. Just let me know in that frame, and makes it desirable for you all, but also realistic for me to make with a limited amount of time. So again, all the support is greatly appreciated, everybody. I'm so excited for what's to come. We have a very exciting future ahead, and safe to say that no matter what happens or where this collection ends up or how we're making model airplane videos, real life trip reports, and so forth, it's going to be a great time. So again, thank you all for bearing with me. It has been quite a go at it here, but I'm very excited, and then hopefully this fall I'll have a little bit of time to really regroup, and it takes hopefully a handful of weeks to be able to get some content prepared and get on a good schedule. So thank you all for bearing with me. Life happens, but fortunately we are uploading on a good basis, and the model videos continue to be prominent. That being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do you love you do. My name is CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.